and welcome to the 27th episode of Sweet Tea and Thread. I'm Shai, and I have a special guest host with me today. Hold your horses. It's Bethany.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, she's been busy at school, home for the holidays,
Very busy.
and and she's been busy while she's been home for the holidays.
That's true, yes. It never stops.
Yeah, she didn't knit a lot at school, but she's knitted a whole lot since she got home. So we'll get started with, welcome, and we appreciate you being with us. And we're going to start with our works in progress. No, not our works in progress, our
Finished objects?
finished objects,
Okay.
which I don't have anything here to show. I have been knitting. I have finished things. They've already been gifted. One of the things I did was the City Life scarf by Lucinda Iglesias, and I made it in Malabrigo Rios in this colorway. I just love Malabrigo. This is a worsted weight yarn, and I used about 2.5 skeins because of the length that I wanted for it. And I was real pleased. We'll insert a picture. But these are other colors that we have in Rios, and any of them would make that scarf up beautifully. I think I'm going to be offering a class doing that scarf kind of as a beginning brioche class, so be looking for that on our class calendar. And then I did dishcloths because that's what I have people that are expecting those. I think that's all I knitted.
Okay.
I mean, I've got some works in progress, but as far as finished objects, that's it for me.
Yeah. I have 3. I've been here for 1 month. They're
Exactly.
small. So, like she said, when I was at school, I didn't really knit because we're on a quarter system, which goes kind of faster than a semester system, and you really have to pay attention to your projects and just assignments that are due. But while I was here, we got some new yarn in. And that was kind of why I wanted to do a project, because look at this. I love this. I'm going to take it off and put it on for you. So
Yeah.
This is some new yarn that we got in. It is Barocco's macro yarn. And this particular scarf is the Entwine Scarf by Jane Richmond. It's a great beginner scarf because it uses knit stitches and purl stitches. And then this right here is just created by slipping a stitch every other row. But
Yeah.
look at this. Like these are my yarn babies. These are the colors we currently have. We have more coming,
Yeah.
but I have 4 beautiful children right now. This is the one that I knit this scarf out of, but
This is what gave Bethany her knitting mojo back. That yarn came in just shortly after she got back home from school, and she's been working in the store over the holidays. And she saw that and immediately started scrolling for patterns. Said, "Can we make this?"
as one does.
Yes.
This yarn is 50% wool, 40% acrylic, and 10% alpaca. And the scarf used 2 skeins, and I still have some left over. And I knit it exactly as it called for, except I went down 1 needle size because if you've watched any of our previous episodes with me, I'm a loose knitter.
Yeah.
So I always go down a needle size. But yeah, that's the first thing that I knit. Look how long this is.
Yeah.
Like,
It's nice and long.
yes.
It looks great. I love it.
But yeah, so that was the first project, and more colors are coming in, which I'm kind of excited about. There's
Yeah.
some really pretty colors that she's getting in. The next thing that I knit was this hat. Again, I don't remember what the name is.
The sunflower beanie.
Thank you. I knit it. I don't know the name.
Yeah. Sunflower beanie by Gil Oscart for Earth Yarns.
Yeah. So this uses another new yarn that we got in, and it's from Earth. It's called Earth's Kuzu. and it uses 2 skeins, and I used up all the yarn because I wanted a huge pom-pom, so I just used the rest to make the pom-pom. But this is a really basic colorwork hat, a colorwork beanie, and it's meant to look kind of marled. Like, you're not really meant to, I guess, kind of fully see the colorwork, but it gives just that fun look to it. But it is colorwork because look, I have floats. Super easy, super good beginner colorwork. If you've knit a couple of hats and you want to try stranded colorwork, do this because it goes quickly. I knit this in a day.
Yes. She did. I watched her.
I came into work one day. We got the yarn in like the day before. I was like, hey,
It was a
want me to
quiet
knit a
day
hat?
at work.
it was, yeah. But this is the yarn. I'll show you.
Yeah.
So it comes in variegateds and solids, and you can do the hat out of 2 skeins. So you can do it in a solid and 1 variegated, such as this. I believe this was what I did that hat out of. Or it was this. I don't remember.
It was that one.
I think it was this one. Or what you could do instead, and I mean really any of those would work.
That looks really good together.
That red would be really fun. Or what you could do is you could just do 2 of the kind of solids together. And then your color work would show up even more if you did 2 solids. But it's a really fun beginner project. And if you're new to color work, it's gonna be a fairly easy color work project to begin with. So, plus it knits up quickly. It is 100% extra fine superwash merino. It's a super bulky, and each skein is 66 yards.
There you go. It's amazing you can knit up a hat like that with only 66 yards.
Mm-hmm. Well, 66 times 2.
Yeah, 2. We'll cut that part out. Alrighty. And then, you still have one more.
One more. I've been busy. Look at this. I think this one's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I love the macro yarn, but I do love this. So this is Pull the Wool Over. It is a free pattern by Espastrico, and it is knit using a worsted or Aran weight held with a lace weight. So we used mohair. You can also use, we have a Malabrigo silk paca lace. It would be a slightly less fuzzy halo, but you'd still get a nice soft kind of fuzz from it. But yeah, so it takes 1 skein of a worsted or Aran and then 1 skein of a lace weight. And fun part about this, the pom-pom snaps off.
Yeah.
I always love pom-poms with a snap because I can remove them, wash the hat, and then let it dry and snap it back on. But so I knit this one out of my own yarn. If I can find it. We gotta dig on the table. Did we get my yarn? No.
No, we didn't. We got all the mohair, but we didn't get your yarn.
That's okay. I got you.
Yep.
Look. My yarn.
Yep.
These are also my babies. This is the color that we actually knitted out of. And I'll show you. Look at the contrast.
Yeah. How much difference adding that mohair in there makes to the
So
color.
this is my Aran weight. It's a 90% superwash merino and 10% mulberry silk. And this is the color Dear Diary. We held it with a black mohair, which sadly a few days later we sold out of. It just
happens so often that we do that.
We make something out of something that's not really selling, and then the next day we sell a lot of it. So
Yeah.
but we have black in the silk paca that would go really well with this if you want to create the same look. The other option is just use a different mohair. Mohair is great because it will subdue the color. So even though this and this isn't really the right color together, it still is going to work. It's going to tone down that hot pink. And so, you know, we have like greens, blues, and kind of like blacks. and options to go with it. Something kind of fun. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's real pretty too.
And look, the greens. You could do that. You could do that. You could even put white with something, or gray. And one more, a lighter blue.
Ooh, that'd be pretty too.
So we have options.
Yep, those are good ones.
But yeah, it just takes one skein of one and one skein of the other. And actually, that would be kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
That would be different, but that would be fun.
Yeah.
So those are all of my finished objects.
Okay.
That's all I got for you.
Then I have a couple of other finished projects that were brought in by a customer and friend. Tina German knitted these up. This is the Coors cowl, and it's made up in 3 colors of Viento. And y'all, this Viento yarn, it's alpaca and bamboo, and it just feels so scrumptious.
And it's lightweight because it's a chainette design, so
Right.
it's just really nice and just
Yeah,
drapey too.
yeah, it's very lightweight. And then out of that same yarn, she knit this one. It's the birthday cake cowl, and so a little smaller, but still just as scrumptious.
And it just takes 2 skeins for that
Yeah,
one.
this one's just 2 skeins. But anyway, she brought them for us to use to show, what a couple other things that can be done with that yarn. And we appreciate it very much. And already sold some yarn asking for the patterns. So, and they're free patterns on Ravelry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess we'll move along to works in progress. And my work in progress is I've made a little more headway on the Friendship Rebozo. I'm finishing up my variegated. This is a vintage decay, and then the blue and the variegated are both Malabrigo Dostieras. And I'm loving the way it's feeling.
I didn't really believe her when she said this was vintage at first because it is so soft.
Yeah.
And I love vintage. I've worked with it in all the weights. I've worked with it in the chunky, the worsted, and the DK. But I forgot how wonderful this felt. Like, this worked up so beautifully. And it pairs really well with the Malabrigo.
It does. It does. They've knitted up really well together. And so I just have to finish this variegated and a little more of the blue. Then it gets blocked and there's an edging that goes around it. So I'm almost to that blocking stage. But I've enjoyed working on it. It's great television knitting, that's for sure, because it's basically, not basically, it is. Just a stockinette swath. So if you need to practice your purl stitches,
There you go.
this is the project for you.
We did pick out a couple of options for you if you want. You can do that. We still
Right.
have those colors that are available. But we thought that would be really pretty.
That would be very pretty, yeah.
I love that green as a pop in the midst of all of this kind of like purple and pink. And then if you want to go a little bit more neutral, but you still kind of want to explore a color, this would be really pretty. Because you have that color with this kind of reddish orange.
Yeah.
And then you have the brown, which is a neutral, and this variegated, which is very much a neutral.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot. We have a lot more vintage and a lot more of the Malabrigo that you can choose from.
Yes, most definitely. We've got, I did a couple of orders of one of a kind colors. So that makes it fun to pick out your variegated from that. And
Yeah, because then not everybody's going to have that same
Right.
color. It's going to be kind of really unique.
Exactly. So, and you have no works in progress?
No, I don't have
Or
works
not here with you anyway.
No.
So, all right. Well, we'll talk about a couple of new things in the shop. Cocoa Knits is at it again. This is the Craft Caddy, and it's a lovely little project bag, leather handles to go on it. It's very easy to put together. You buy the bag, and the handles are sold separately. The bag comes in a gray and an olive, and
then these are the little...
Yeah, and it uses the short handles. But I just love it. It's got tons of pockets, and it's made out of that unbelievable cardboard stuff.
Yeah, that stuff that you can wash.
Yeah.
This is like a paper. This bag is made out of a paper you
Yeah.
can wash. It's similar to the accessory roll if you have one of those.
Yeah.
And I love my accessory roll. I don't have one of these yet, but the more you use this, the more it breaks it in. It wears it to where it's just nice and
Yeah.
pliable. You can wash it. Like I said, throw it in the wash. It's fine. It's not going to tear
Yeah.
apart.
Washing it will give it more of a kind of a suede, leathery sort of look.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. It's just, I just think the thing she comes up with is pretty amazing. And then also we've gotten in gleaners in several. This is the Gleaner on the go.
The little mini gleaner.
Yeah, so they're the little mini ones, so they're easy to take with you. And now that we're all getting our sweaters out, they may need to be de-peeled and
And then you have this
spruced up.
nice little thing that you can carry it around in. Mm-hmm. And I love the prints on these. I love just the colors. You have solids and you have ones that are printed.
Some that
right?
are, let's see, this one's printed. This one's up.
This one's printed too.
Yeah. This floral.
Look at, I love this one. This one's my favorite, I think. But, and then of course, like the solids, like this is orange that goes with this floral print.
Yeah.
And then there's a pink that goes with this one that she just showed. And I
Yeah.
believe this floral is a kind of like a suede blue.
Yeah. Let's see if we can
Find a color.
This is the blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Look at that. It's like my favorite. I love.
It's showing up a little greener, it looks like, on the screen.
Yeah,
But it's very much kind of a gray, suede blue.
really pretty.
Mm-hmm. So those are two of the newest things besides yarn that we've gotten in the shop. I'll tell you a minute. We're drinking tea from guess where? My tea story today. I realized when I was getting all my things together to bring into the store for us to podcast that I forgot about making tea, and I thought I'll just run by Starbucks and get us a masala chai. And so when I got into town, went to Starbucks, cars wrapped around like 3 times or something, and I said, yeah, I can't wait that long. And I think I'll go to Panera Bread and get some because that's the first time I ever had a chai, the masala chai, and to me it tastes like Christmas smells. Anyway, so I was just kind of craving that today. Their machines are down. They're not serving any hot drinks. It's cold outside, y'all. I needed a hot drink. But anyway, so I thought, I guess it's McDonald's.
Good old faithful McDonald's with an iced tea on a cold day.
And some apple pie because, drowned our sorrows with some sweet iced tea and an apple pie. But anyway, so that's how we ended up with McDonald's today. And the moral of the story is it would have taken me 10 minutes at the most to make our tea. And it took me 30 minutes to end up with McDonald's tea, which is very good. I have no qualms with McDonald's tea. But just saying,
Oh, well.
So anyway, do you have anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
One last thing. So this is probably going to be my last official podcast that I'm going to be doing. I know.
Tissue.
Okay.
I need some tissue.
It's okay. So I have realized since finishing my first quarter at school that it goes by really quickly. It's very fast paced and I need a lot of time. I'm also trying to get a job down there because eventually I'm going to be renting an apartment instead of living in the dorms. So I'm not going to be around. And so I probably won't be able to podcast. Yeah. So my last official podcast, say goodbye to this face. Not forever, but...
Right. And we thought she was going to be knitting a little bit down there, and we would Zoom podcast while she was at school, and that just never worked out. Had no time to pick up the needles. So anyway, but I know y'all will miss her, but maybe she's got fiber classes this quarter, so maybe she'll be knitting and crocheting and call me up and say, hey, can we podcast? I've got some stuff.
Maybe.
So, yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But
thank y'all for joining us. We're podcasting. This is how we're spending our New Year's Eve. Podcasting for you.
About knitting and crocheting.
About knitting and...
The best way to spend Christmas or New Year's? New Year's
Either.
Eve. I don't care. The time has gotten away from me. I don't know what day it is.
Exactly.
New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you for joining us. As always, we ask that you like our video and subscribe. It's free to subscribe. That will give you notifications when a new video is up. And we appreciate you being here, and y'all have a good evening and a happy, happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Guys. Where's my yarn babies? Blooper reel. Where's my yarn babies? I gotta gather up. Let's see. Okay, Frederica, you're over here.
Oh, there's the other one.
And Simon.
Yeah.
We'll just hide me in the yarn.